Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Welcome to part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for next week, September 5th through September 9th, where we'll apply our market analysis and our strategies that we discussed in part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week and select our stocks to put on our watch list and our bullpen and our shopping list, etc. For the trading week of next week. September 5th through September 9th. Just a quick reminder, Monday, September 5th is Labor Day in the U.S., so all the U.S. markets are closed. And we wish you all a great Labor Day holiday weekend. So we'll get started. Here's our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for this week. You can find these notes in a Google Drive folder, public folder. The link to this Google Drive public folder you can find in the description box below. We'll probably also put the direct link to the document in the comments for this video once we finish. So we'll get started. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, we would recommend that you do that. How to make money trading in the worst month for investing, which is September. Please accept our apologies again for the confusion with the original truncated version of this video, and make sure that you're viewing at least all the parts of the second version where we hopefully have resolved all those issues. Good morning, DS Greg and Spacula. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. Hope you all are doing well. So if anyone has any questions in the chat, please post them in the chat. We'll try to address them as we're able. First, we'll quickly look at some of the trades that we made last week and talk about how we made those decisions, what we're looking for in those trades. So the first one is AGQ. We talked about that. It was on our watch list. We've been looking for a reversal, a turnaround in gold and silver. The previous week, we went long on GDXU, which is a similar ETF in gold. This week, we caught silver. As you'll see, we went long on the 31st at 1932. And we'll take a look at this. I'll jump over to Webull and show you that trade. So if I jump over to the stock screen in Webull, we look at this trade for AGQ. As I mentioned, we went long on the 31st at 1932. So we went long very early in pre-market. I had a good to cancel order sitting out there pre-market. You can see, it broke down through there, hit that good to cancel order. So we got in, and then it continued to decline for the next couple days. We're still in that trade. I'm holding on again for that reversal in silver, which we saw yesterday in the futures. On Friday, we had a nice reversal bounce in silver and gold. And you can see this trade has some nice upside if we look at the monthly chart. So again, and we can see it had made a nice recovery on Friday. We alerted this trade out to our Patreon members very quickly after we had made that trade, and hopefully some of our fellow BeachBum traders were able to get a better price than we did. So again, when we make these trades, we post them out in the alerts channel. We post them to our Patreon members, and they get email alerts. And then we also put them in the alerts channel in our Discord. You can find a link to our Discord and also to our Patreon in the description box below. So hopefully some of you were able to get an even better price than we did. And if you did get in at a lower price, you're probably already in profit at this point. So again, we're going to hold it. Silver looks like it's making a turnaround, and we'll hold on to that. And hopefully, get a nice. It's got plenty of upside. So the NGD, I see Spacula asking if we're still in NGD. Yes, we're still in NGD. NGD is a gold miner. We went long on NGD on the 30th at 65.01. Again, this was an order I placed in advance, and we'll see where that one hit. So on the 30th at 65.01. So we'll go back, look at 5-day. So again, very early pre-market. I had that order sitting at 65.01. It hit very early when it broke down. NGD's been oscillating. It was a little profitable. I didn't want to get stopped out of it yet. I want to give it some room to run. Again, gold and silver. They're a gold, silver, and I believe copper miner as well. So you see it's kind of oscillating around that price right now. We're waiting for it to turn up. You can see again it has plenty of upside as well. So again, with the recovery in gold and silver, we still like NGD. The risk reward profile is attractive. ULE is the ETF on the euro. And you can see we got stopped out of that. We went into this trade on the 22nd at $10. We got stopped out on the 31st at 10.09. We'll take a look at that. We got a small profit, so it was a small profit, 1%, 3% for the month. Again, you'll see, as we talked about yesterday, the euro has broken down and is now below parity with the dollar again. The strong dollar continues to run. We were hoping for a turnaround. It didn't come, so we got stopped out with a small profit that we're okay with. So again, we went in the 22nd at 10. You can see where it kind of broke down through there when the last euro parity break was, and it kind of sat flat. ULE is very choppy. It picked up a little bit, and then it broke back down through that support level, and that's where we got stopped out at 10.10 or 10.09. So you can see I had my stop set just below that pivot point. Pivot point's at 10.10. I put it a penny below that at 10.09. So when it broke down through that point, we got stopped out with a small profit. So we'll look at ULE again in our ETF spreadsheet towards the end of the video, when we also look at the risk reward profile for a lot of other ETFs and other categories. Also, please stick around towards that end when we look at the ETFs. I've got a number of ETFs to add in various categories such as gold and real estate that we've discovered. So we'll look at those additions and see if they present any attractive risk reward profiles as well. So, and thank you, Specula, for encouraging people to like and subscribe. Yes, if you're not already a subscriber to our BeachBum Trading channel, we hope that you will choose to do so. Good morning, Douglas PC. Glad to see you again. Hope you're doing well. So now we'll look at our watch list, what we're putting on our watch list for this week. We'll talk about, again, some lessons learned towards the end. So again, we went long already, AGQ. So again, if you didn't get in already on AGQ, there's still an opportunity there. It's still at a nice price, still shows a good risk reward profile, but we're going to take it off our watch list. We're already long. Another one we'll look at in our watch list, if you've been around for a while, you know I've been watching this dry bulk shipping ETF for quite some time. It's been declining for a period of time. It now looks like it may be forming a decent bottom. I had put it in the bullpen on the 31st. And we'll talk about updates to our bullpen and how those get communicated as well to our Patreons. And then I moved it up to the main watch list on the 1st. So we'll look at the curve for dry bulk shipping in a minute. BVN, you know, we've had this as another miner. I did get an alert the other day that it had hit our price target. I did not go long in that one. You may have chosen to. If it looked attractive to you. I think we're heavy enough right now in gold, silver. So, but it did bounce down to that price level, and I think it recovered again on Friday with the bounce back in gold and silver. Cold. We looked at the charts yesterday for natural gas. And again, we've been scalping natural gas. Cold is the short on natural gas, and Boyle is the long on natural gas. And again, this has been presenting all kinds of opportunities because of the volatility in natural gas. So if you're short term, day trader, scalper, etc., there's a lot of opportunities given the volatility in natural gas. So we continue to watch cold. Ideally, I would like to see it hit its all-time high again, and then I would go heavy short using cold. But again, if you want to day trade it, scalp it, you can use boil going long and cold going short on natural gas. Just FYI, similarly for oil, we talked about yesterday, you can go long on oil using gush or short on oil using drip. Also long on oil using UCO, short on oil using SCO. And again, we'll look at those ETFs when we get to our ETF spreadsheet and look at which ones present the best risk-reward profile. So we talked about NGD. Again, we're already long NGD. If you're not long NGD, it's still not it hasn't run away yet. So there's still opportunities there. And then we'll talk about LabD is the short on biotech. And we've got SOXS, which is the short on semiconductors, and we got SQQ, which is the short on the NASDAQ that we've been watching. And we've made some nice trades in those over the past couple of weeks. But now if you look at them, they've all run. Obviously, all the markets turned down this week. They broke down through support, as we showed yesterday. And nowadays, they don't really present a great swing opportunity. If you want to day trade any of these, you can go again short, with using these. LabD is the short on biotech. The long is LabU. The short on semiconductors is SOXS. The long is SOXL. And TQQQ is the long on the NASDAQ. And again, you can day trade scalp these guys on any given day based on what the market's doing. But in terms of swings, they don't really present that great of a risk-reward profile right now because the markets are breaking down. So USOI is an ETN that's long on oil, and we've been watching that, trying to get in that for a little while. It pays a monthly dividend, very attractive monthly dividend. So we're just waiting for a quick dip in oil. Oil's been sitting, high. It's been volatile. It's been bouncing off the 90s. We're kind of waiting for it to test 85 again, at which point, hopefully, USOI will hit our price target and we'll go long USOI. And then UVXY is the long on the VIX. And we saw the VIX kind of popped up in the 25 range with the fallout from the Jackson Hole last week, and has continued in the 25 area. It's slowly reverting to the mean, dropping back down. I'd really like to get long the VIX going into the next FOMC meeting, which is September 20 and 21. So if the VIX retraces back to a 20 or below, we'll probably go long UVXY, expecting some volatility to occur around the FOMC, the next FOMC meeting. Now, unless something else triggers some volatility in between now and then, we would expect the VIX to continue to revert to its mean. So good morning, Tanavir. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you again. So just a reminder, when we now have a web page that is published to our Patreons, available to our Patreons, that's automatically updated every day with any changes we make to our watch list and or to our bullpen now. Again, the bullpen changes to the bullpen are now included in that web page. And again, that's available to our Patreons. If we do make any intraday changes to our watch list, we also have a channel in our Discord that's available to our Patreons, and we would post that in this stock watch list channel in our Discord. So again, if you want to get daily updates to our watch list or intraday changes to our watch list, please join our Patreon. So now we'll quickly look at those charts for our watch list. So again, nice thing about Webull is the ability to create any number of watch lists. This is the online browser version of Webull, which is the one I tend to use. Just a very quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, they're still offering their 12 free stock deal. This, again, is the highest number of free stocks I've seen them offer. So if you're not already using Webull, if you just open an account, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $300 each. And if you fund the account, even with $1 or a cent, you can get 4 to 10 more free stocks valued up to $3,000 each. So Webull's our favorite trading platform. It's what we do the majority of our trading using. So, you know, if you're not already using Webull, why not get your 12 free stocks, up to 12 free stocks? You can cash them out, take the cash if you don't like the platform. But again, I don't know how long this 12 free stock deal will last, but take advantage of it if you're not already using Webull. So now we can look at BDRY. As you can see, this is that dry bulk one. It had been declining pretty steadily. It just recently bounced. I'd like to see it, you know, retest and come back down to the support level from this bounce. But it looks like it's found a bottom. It declined for a very long time. Finally found a bottom. So if we get a little bit of a retracement back down to support, we'd like to go long. It has a very nice risk reward profile, as you can see. You know, it goes from 6 all the way up to, you know, 26. So very nice risk reward. Looks, again, a long decline. Looks like it finally found a bottom and is bouncing up. So that's, we like the dry bulk. I was looking at some seasonality in this area, and it looks like we may be coming into a favorable season for dry bulk shipping prices. So that may also factor in to that. So I like that. BVN, again, we've had this on our watch list for quite some time. You could see it very briefly dip below our price target and then bounce pretty quickly away. I was focused on other things. I didn't get into BVN. Also, again, we've got plenty of gold and silver, so. But I think there's still a good opportunity. You can see it made a nice recovery, so. Cold, again, very volatile. You can see we've had previous scalp trades, profitable scalp trades. Recently, natural gas declined a little bit, but as we discussed yesterday with this Nord Stream 1 being shut down indefinitely, we don't know when it'll come back. We may see a spike in natural gas early next week, particularly given the long weekend. I have an order sitting out at the bottom down here at 902. So if natural gas does spike, we'll catch that and short natural gas. Again, if it spikes up over 10, the cold should hit a bottom again. So, and again, I watch the price of natural gas to determine, you know, when it hits an all-time high, cold should be at a bottom. Just checking to see if there's any questions in the chat right now. USOI, again, this is the ETN on oil. You can see we played this, scalped it before, collected a monthly dividend for last month. Then it's been declining. Love to get back in. The next dividend is probably on 9/19. So I've got a little bit of time. So if it comes down, you know, to this previous support level, 440, around 440-ish, we'll take a sizable position in USOI and we'll play this again, you know. We'll collect the monthly dividend, scalp it on price appreciation, and keep doing so. If oil goes back up, then we'll make a nice profit. And UVXY, again, volatility it jumped up. After the fallout from Jackson Hole, we expect it to come back down. Again, I recommend watching the VIX. If the VIX spikes up in the 30s or so, UVXY should make a new low, a new recent low. And again, we'd like to go long into that FOMC meeting on the 20th, 21st, because we kind of expect the potential for some increased volatility in that time frame. So that's what we've got on a real-time watch list. This is what we have, automation running, checking the prices, sending us real-time alerts on. Now we'll look at our bullpen, which is what we look at the end of each day, see if it presents a better risk reward, better technical setup. If so, we move it up to our primary watch list and go forward from there. Just checking for questions. I see you guys are having a good discussion in the chat. Love to see that. I'd love to see our BeachBum trading community helping each other out, supporting each other. That's our objective. So we talk about our bullpen stocks. We've had DNN and URLI. These are uranium stocks. We'll leave them on there right now. They've been rotating in and out of uranium as they do the sector rotations that we talked about yesterday, as well as one of the strategies, if they happen to rotate uranium back down. These are two that we like. You'll see in the charts they've run up as they rotated into uranium recently. But again, they're attractive if we can get a rotation of uranium back down. When we get to we'll look at the chart for EURL. We had this on the watch list a while ago. This is on the Europe FTSE. It's an ETF, Bull 3X, so it's a leveraged ETF on the European EU FTSE index. And it had, like I said, it had run up, but it came down recently. So it may present a nice opportunity again because it seems to be bottoming. Now, another one I found, it came up in a query. We've made a profit on before, is KTOS, Kratos Defense, or Aerospace and Defense Company. They do drones, etc. I was a little bit questionable on them because if you look at their data in FinViz, it looks like they've lost some money in the last quarter. So I don't particularly like unprofitable stocks, but given that this is in the defense sector and given increased spending in defense, given that they're in drones, I thought, well, we'll put it on the bullpen and keep an eye on it. Again, this is something we made money with in the past. Kathy Woods, ARK, tends to buy KTOS, so maybe I think I need to do a due diligence video on these guys to dig more into it to see what's going on, why did they lose money, what's the potential going forward. But I figured we'll put it on the bullpen, we'll keep an eye on it, and again, maybe I'll do a due diligence video on that as soon as I can. So DS Greg says France is turning on many of their nuke plants because of Nord Stream. Yeah, France for quite decades has had a good nuclear power industry. Unlike us, like Germany, they kind of shied away from that. But again, France has always had a good nuclear power. They also have a good disposal system. So. Okay, so let's look at our bullpen real quickly. So again, nice thing about Webull is you can have all kinds of different watch lists. They're easy to maintain. Get a drink a sec. Okay, so here's DNN. So, we can see it came down. I didn't catch it there. I like it around $1.92 is really kind of the bottom. But anywhere $1 below is a good price for DNN. You can see it ran up with uranium, same way with URLY, about the same time frame. When they rotated into uranium, those guys all ran up, as well as others we've watched in the past, like UUUU and URNM, which is the ETF. So we'll see if they rotate out of uranium, if we get an opportunity to get back in there. And yes, Spacula points out that September is historically, quote, the worst month for investing. That was the title of our part 1. We have a video that's referenced therein that explains, why September is considered historically the worst month for investing. They call it the September effect, and we explain that. Also, it's referred to sometimes as the September swoon. And again, this is all historical, so it doesn't necessarily mean that this September is going to behave that way. But again, it sets expectations for traders. So, everybody's kind of, experienced traders know this, that it's historically the worst month. Some people would have probably dumped already in August. That may be why we saw that decline, part of it, along with the Fed fallout from the Jackson Hole. So people may have bailed knowing that historically September is a bad month. But again, our philosophy in the BeachBum trading community is we can make money in any kind of a market. And we also referenced a number of videos we've been doing since the beginning of the year about how to make money in bear markets. We can make money in a uptrending, downtrending, range-bound market. It's just a matter of the strategy you use and the mindset. So again, there's ways to make money in any market. So if you need further assistance in those regards, just let us know, and we can refer you to the previous information and help you along the way. So we talk, okay, so here's EURL. That's that bull 3X on the European market. You can see it recently kind of bottomed out, bounced back up. You can see where our price target's kind of in that 1420, or now in around the 1350 area. If it double bottoms here, holds that support, we'd like to go long there. You can see it's got a decent amount of upside, just even in the short term. Again, Europe's been beaten down pretty severely, so hopefully, with a little bit of good news, we can make a nice profit on that. KTOS, again, this is that KTOS. You can see it's been declining. I'd like to see it stabilize, create a stable support. You can see my original price was about 1250 area. It's dropped down to around 1170. It might be holding that S2 support level. If it does and turns back up, that looks like a good entry point. Again, it's got a decent amount of upside as well. And on a longer term, it's got, even more upside. So we'll see. Again, I'd like to do a due diligence on that and see what the earnings loss. As you can see, they that doesn't show their EPS directly, but yeah, it showed in FinViz that I think they lost money last quarter, and that was part of the reason for the decline, I believe. Okay, so now we'll talk about our ETFs. Can you guys still hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear. I didn't want to cough in anyone's ear. Okay, good. So again, we'll look at our overall ETF spreadsheet in a minute, but in the notes, you'll see I found, as I was searching for some other ETFs and doing some work on leveraged ETFs, I found a number of articles that talked about some additional gold ETFs that we didn't have in our spreadsheet. I didn't have in the database. So I'm adding those to our ETF spreadsheet. And that way we can see what their risk reward profiles are relative to some of the other gold or other ETFs that we already had in our spreadsheet. And you can see these were touted as 4 leveraged ETFs that were good for Q3. The other 2, obviously, that were in there we already had, but DGP we're adding, GLL, this is a double long ETN, this is an ultra short. So if we want to trade gold long or short, we have some additional options to do that. Good morning, Captain Matty. Glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. Also, there was an article, the best gold ETFs for Q4. So the ones we didn't have that we've added are GLDM. That's just a straight gold. IAUM, which is another micro gold trust. And then there's this Aberdeen Physical Gold Shares, SGOL. So again, when we get to our spreadsheet, we'll see all of those added to the gold category. And then this was interesting as well. These are inverse Reits. So we've talked about the real estate market declining for some period of time. Didn't really have great ways to be able to play that. And here's some inverse Reits. So if you want to short the real estate market, we can look at those for opportunities. So REK, short real estate, and then SRS is ultra short real estate. So again, opportunities to be able to short. There's also DRV, which we already had, which was the one that we were watching previously. So another commodity one, a general commodity one we didn't have that I've added is DBE. So this is on energy. So another way to play energy in general. So we've talked about the divergence in the energy sector, that gold, natural gas, uranium have diverged somewhat. But if you want to play the general energy sector, here's another option to be able to do that. So now we'll look at our overall ETF spreadsheet. Again, I've added all of these to this spreadsheet so we can look at the risk-reward profiles for these various ETFs. And again, our Patreon members have access to this at any time. And I, again, started using this more and more to look for things to add to the watch list at the end of the day. As I go through, I'm looking for the current risk-reward profile. If it offers a risk-reward profile of 2 or better currently, and also between the support and resistance, then if I get green marks in those 2 columns, then it looks like something that's interesting. And then I look at, okay, what is the risk? So I can see the risk. What's the risk? What's the reward? ARK, I'm not terribly interested in going long ARK right now, given the macro events with the downturns in technology, downturn in ARK. So we talked about Lab D. That's no longer attractive right now. Lab U, it's attractive, but it's quite a ways from the support. So again, that's all these shorts and longs on the indices have not really become attractive right now. So if anybody has a particular category you want to look at, please let me know in the comments. I can focus on those categories. Otherwise, again, I quickly go through these, look at whether there's a green in the risk reward and the support to resistance risk reward. We talked about China. I know there's, with the lockdowns and issues with China, some people scalp using yang and yen. Another person was interested in YXI. It's not as attractive as yang as a way to short China, given this risk-reward profile. So the ones in yellow are not in my database, so they don't get automatically updated at the end of the day in terms of their pricing. All the others get automatically updated at the end of the day. So somebody's talking about cold. Yeah, we'll look at cold, which is natural gas. We'll see the new ones we added to energy. So not very attractive. Here's some of the new ones we added in the gold category. You see this DGP, although right now it's pretty attractive. It doesn't give us a 2 or better risk reward from support. Same way with these, GLDM. So we added all these to see if they were going to be a better risk reward profile than the ones we already tend to play, which we're using GDXU. We're currently long GDXU. We currently have a sizable holding in GLDI, which is a monthly dividend paying ETN for gold. And Douglas PC asks, do I ever use futures? Not directly. The retirement accounts that I have, Webull does not currently offer trading directly in futures in retirement accounts, and the other accounts that I have also don't offer trading futures. So right now I do not trade futures. I've considered it, but I've got plenty of opportunities right now and plenty busy of trying to focus on what I'm already trading. But I've thought about that as well as Forex. It's just there's plenty of opportunities to make money. So maybe one of these days. So we looked at those guys. Again, here's SQQQ and TQQ. So it's saying the up on NASDAQ is got a better profile, but we know it's downtrending. So again, I use these indicators along with our analysis that we do in the part 1 to say, okay, does this make sense? Do I really want to long the NASDAQ right now given that it's downtrending? Well, I don't. So here's coal that was mentioned. Again, right now it's sitting around 11. We'd like to see it, when nat gas hits an all-time high, coal will drop 902 or below. Very nice risk-reward profile. Oil's not as attractive right now because it's not near support, really. And there's a couple other ETFs. Again, we talked about oil. There's ways to long, Gush, UCO, or DRIP and SCO to short. So again, opportunities to scalp any of these energies all the time. So we talked about semiconductors. Again, this is showing that, SOX L, which is the long, is attractive. But again, we know there's a lot of downward pressure. It's still a couple of dollars away from its support level. When it gets down there, SOX L may be attractive. We may be interested in going long semiconductors once it finally bottoms at support and turns back up. But right now, there's a lot of negative sentiment, negative news on semiconductors, and the short is no longer attractive right now. So talked about silver. We're already long AGQ. We have a sizable position in SLVO already. It's also looking at VTI with the decline in the markets. Right now, it's sitting around 196. I'd like it around 181 because it really doesn't present a two or better risk reward. If it does get down, we've talked about in the past, holding VTI. It's our preferred index fund for long-term investment, long-term holds. If it gets down here somewhere where it's more attractive, we may add VTI back to the watch list. But right now, it should trend down from everything we're seeing, and the risk reward profile isn't that great right now. I talked about uranium again. And we talked about UVXY. We'll look at EURL. There's EURL. That's that European FTSE guy. You can see it offers, 2.4 risk reward profile. So pretty nice from support, and it's close to support. So that's why we added EURL. So again, we'll continue to update this ETF spreadsheet as we find more ETFs that may be interested, give us the ability to long or short various categories. So again, as I hear news things and I say, okay, well, how do I short this? How do I long this? I use this ETF spreadsheet to identify ETFs that I can long or short various categories based on the events that are occurring. So. Also, as a bonus for watching this weekly trading game plan, you can access this link. It's an unlisted video currently. Again, you can access the link in the notes. I just produced an ETF. People have been asking about leveraged ETFs and what are they? How do you use them? So there's this new video. It's again unlisted. We'll premiere it. We'll release it as we're able. But for watching our weekly trading game plan, you can get the link to this video that talks about what is a leveraged exchange traded fund and how do they work. It goes into it's the start of a series that I'm working on leveraged ETFs. So again, there will be more to come as I'm able. And if you have a particular interest in particular topic, let us know in our Discord via comments below this video and our social media, our Facebook page, etc. If you're interested in future videos on a given topic. So. And again, we have other videos in our ETFs playlist. So shopping list stock, again, more bonuses for watching our weekly trading game plan in the notes is I parsed out all of our previous strategies on recession proofing your portfolio. Part 1 has been released. Part 2, 3, and 4 have not yet been released, but here's the links to those videos. And again, you can access those videos directly via the notes for this weekly trading game plan. And again, we'll be releasing those as soon as we're able. So again, that's our our recommendation. Again, this is not financial advice, but we believe you should recession-proof and inflation-proof your portfolio. We know we're technically in a recession already. We know we've got high inflation and it's still sticky. And we're in an environment with rising interest rates, and they're going to continue to rise. So our recommendation is to pick stocks that are recession-proof, inflation-proof, and good for a rising interest rate environment. So. Just checking for any questions. If you have any questions, hit me up in the chat with those. If you're watching this video after the fact, you can put them again in the comments below. Join our Discord. You can ask in our Discord. Again, our Discord's free to join. Anybody can join. You can ask your questions. We've got, a beach party. You can ask whatever questions. We've got a suggestion box if you'd like to make any suggestions for future videos, improvements to our community, etc. Join us in the Discord. Again, it's free to join. You can find an invite in the description box below. So again, anything you'd like to know after the fact, great. So something else there's a trade idea I wanted just to throw out there. Is I know a number of people that are doing quite well just making money focusing on trading just one to a few things like natural gas. Some people are focusing and focusing on trading natural gas up and down, and they're making good money doing that, or just energy, just oil. Some people trade just the SPY. Or just the NASDAQ, and you can scalp, day trade, make good money. Just focus on trading something, get familiar with how it behaves, what's the price action look like, and again, you can make good money doing that. And whether it's an up market or down market, again, there's plenty of opportunities to make money. So if you have a particular affinity, if you have a good understanding of the factors in a particular area, there's plenty of opportunities to make money and just focusing on those things. So I thought I'd just throw that out. Question for the community. I'm considering, and part of where this came from is I was, looking at some of our trades, like AGQ, we got in kind of early, it declined. NGD, maybe we were kind of early. Now, I put those orders in advance so that if I was on the beach away from my desk, I was happy with that price. I'm still happy with that price, but I was kind of looking at them and saying, well, if I had waited, would I've known that I was going to get a better trade? I'm not sure. So the question is it better to be early or late? Am I going to get a better price because I was early? Or if I had waited for it to break out, would have I got a better price? So it's something I'm going to be looking at, thinking about. Generally, I tend to be early. Again, I'll put the order in at a support level. If it happens to break down and continue down, again, since I'm looking at the risk reward, that's the basis of my trade. Is the potential reward greater than what I'm risking? I'm looking for a factor of 2 or better. I'm happy with that, even if the price declines like we saw in AGQ. I'm okay with that because the risk reward was something that I was willing to accept. So let me know what you all think, in the comments, in our Discord, etc. So that's all I had for today. If there's any questions, I've got a few minutes. I can answer any questions that you'd like to throw out in the chat. Otherwise, again, if you have any questions afterwards, put them in the comments. Join us in the Discord and our Facebook group. You can find links to all of these sites, both on the About page of our YouTube channel, which we hope you'll choose to subscribe to. Hit the bell icon so that you get notified as we release. As you can see, we've got a number of videos that'll be coming out, and you'll get notified when those get released, and we've got more in the works. So we hope you'll choose to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when we release these, when we schedule these live streams. We typically do these live streams for our weekly trading game plans at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Saturdays and Sundays. So we hope you'll join us for those as well. So, and again, you could find all the links to our social media, also all the trading tools that we use, etc., a number of other resources, an invite to our Discord server on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U, also on the About page of our YouTube channel, etc. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us via any of those sites. So otherwise, we hope you all have a great Labor Day holiday and enjoy the long weekend. And we'll be back at it on Tuesday. And we'll make some money this week, right? So thank you all again for joining us in the live stream, for watching our video. Again, we hope you like it. Let us know. Give us your feedback. What can we improve? How can we make this more valuable to you? How can we help you succeed in your trading career? So just let us know. We'll do what we can. Enjoy your Labor Day holiday. Have a great day. Bye.